Oh, come on. Oh, man. That's my people. So beautiful. What's up, family and friends? Good morning and welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth. How are you doing? Hope you're doing great. It's a new week, so enjoy it and have fun. And as usual, I want to share with us something very important. Of course, you know it's about Africa. That's why I try to show us those our beautiful people dancing, nice dance step. You know, our people are really naturally endowed, to perform, to do great things. Um, so recently, something has been going on. There is this our brother Mazi Kanu, who is leading a group that is fighting for the restoration of Biafra nation or the freedom of Biafran people. And as he said, for everyone that they were forced to join Nigeria. The truth we must tell ourselves is this: white man created Nigeria. It is not African country. It is a white man country. It is white man business center. It is the British government that created it in 1914 after unleashing all manner of atrocities and evil on us, and converted us as a confused people, say they created Nigeria. But you have had some Nigerians claiming that God was the one that created Nigeria. Some of them want Nigeria to continue despite all the suffering, unnecessary sufferings that they are having there. It's a staggering warning or a staggering evidence that this thing don't supposed to be. But they say it must be. We already know why. Some of them are greatly benefiting from it, so they don't care. But a reasonable human being don't supposed to only support what benefits him. When you see a fellow human being suffering unnecessarily, you're supposed to intervene. It's a natural thing to do, unless you are an animal. In other words, you are religious. Religious people don't care about how other people feel, so long they don't belong to their faith, they don't belong to their cult, they don't belong to their religion. They don't really care. That's why they say if you don't believe them, you will go to hell. You will burn in hellfire forever, because they don't have human feelings anymore. They are now animals, converted animals. So this our brother Mazi Kanu recently, our own people has been attacking him also, the same way he's attacking other people, right? People that maybe voice their their voice against restoration of Biafra. These people want Nigeria to continue because they are into politics, or they're into business that they're benefiting from Nigerian government. So they don't want anything that will split it. And some of them are saying that out of fear of death. They said, "Oh, people will die. If we say we want Biafra." So they are basing their claim on the Nigerian Biafran war, which is genocide, that Nigerian government with their allies, like the British government, committed on our people. People that say they don't want to belong to a place or a thing, why are you forcing them to stay? Why? And you come out killing them. Then they defend themselves. You say it's a war. They are fighting. These people did not fight you first, or maybe come against you. They say they don't want to belong to this British enterprise. You say no, you must belong there. You must become part of us, whether you like it or not. All right. So they have been calling him many names. I see some people, some living in abroad, but this thing become more after I think Nnamdi Kanu really speak against Christianity like Jesus Christ. Before he don't mention it, right? He don't mention that before. But you should understand this. When it comes to Africans, Africans are lost people. Africans don't know their own history. The people that even know the true history of Africa are the African Americans who devoted their time to do their own research, even travel to Egypt. How many people in West Africa today have been to Egypt? Like those that are reading about Egypt in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Torah. How many of them have gone there to actually see Egypt, to actually see what happened? No, they only go for pilgrimage to Jerusalem. The white men built in 1948, telling them this is where Jesus was buried. This is the water Jesus walked on. All that bullshit. Israel never existed until 1948. It was just a story before 1948. So it was a fictional state. And the place you call Middle East today is a misnomer. It's not the real name or something. No, it is our land. And you Igbo people, you're supposed to know that's part of the area you run away from to where you are today. So many Africans, because they have been educated in that British style nonsense or white man's universities or colleges or education, they still don't know our true history. They know our colonized history. So I listened to what Nnamdi Kanu said yesterday. I think that was 19th, right? So he was quoting something I shared before. I didn't know he said anything about it before I share it. When I title it right there, the colonized African history. About the lady that said that shared what her father told her, right? But Nnamdi Kanu, when I started listening to Nnamdi, so he jumped. That's the thing he jumped on, to use it to justify his claim about our ancestors selling themselves into slavery, and that's why we are suffering. No, Nnamdi Kanu is 100% wrong on that. Remember, I am not against Nnamdi Kanu, but when he dives into history of Africa and religion, that's where I say, no, don't go there. If you know him, if you can communicate with him, tell him, just focus on Biafra. And I started listening to him because of what he said about Biafra and Nigeria. Not about Africa. I know no professor in Africa, no educated man or woman in Africa that know the true history of Africa. No. Even those African Americans that know the true history of Africa, they didn't. They are not based. They did not base it on what they were taught in institution of learning. No, they went and dug themselves. They dug up the facts themselves. So that's why even the white men was banning their books in their colleges or universities in America, because those people before those people began to research everything they were taught. Everybody believed Egyptians were white people, just as white people acted it in Nollywood movies. All of them believed Jesus was white, everything white. White men gave us civilization. White men did good things to us or for us. All those things were lies. White men never do any good thing for black people. White man never do any good thing for Africans, no matter how you argue it. Until you know the truth will not prevail in your life. I used to reason like most Africans today, thinking that white man brought good thing to us. No. There's no single good thing you can tell me white man brought to us. Because we are the one that gave them everything. They stole from us, they killed us, they enslaved us, and they gave us imitation. How can imitation be good? When you have the original they took, and they won't give it up. Look at the museum. What, all the artifacts there, where did they take it from? So Nnamdi Kanu dive in there. I say, come on. I've been saying this. Forget this African. You don't know the true African history. Yes, you are educated. I respect that. But the African history that you know is the colonized one. You say your people were selling themselves into slavery. Yes, because they were forced to do that. It was not in them. Before white men came, they see life as spring. Don't kill. They weren't killing anyone. You're supposed to know when all these things started. That's why whatever you are talking, provide the dates. When you provide the date, then you understand better. This thing started in Africa, what you call slavery, started when the Arabs and the Europeans came. The first people to enslave Africans were the Arabs. They are the first people sodomizing our ancestors, forcing them to embrace Muhammad or death. If you don't embrace Muhammad, you die. They kill you. They brought all their evil into our land. After hundreds of years, the Europeans took also followed their footsteps and enslaved us. And you are telling me that our people are suffering today, that Africans are suffering today because of the part they played in slavery. But white people are not suffering like them. You say no, because white people changed, or white people, you say, he mentioned that, he said that white people are tearing down statues of slave masters and all that. Who is making them to tear them down? It's still black people. Those statues have been there for hundreds of years. They didn't tear it down. Why are you waiting for Black People Matters movement before you tear it down? Why did they wait for the killing of George Floyd before they begin to consider such things? You hear Mississippi. Now they want to change their flag. Their state flag had Confederate flag on it. They changed it. They voted. They passed it. They are changing it. So I want to address that. For those of you that care to listen, if you don't care, keep cursing yourself, thinking you are your own problem. Nnamdi Kanu said that he said that we are the architect of our own problem. It's a lie. We are not the architect of our own problem. No people are the architect of their own problem. Somebody may enslave you. The time it will become your fault is if you love to stay in that slavery. Then you don't have to blame anyone. You blame. There's nothing wrong from Africans blaming white people till tomorrow. Yes, until we are free. It's the right thing to do. It's not wrong. That doesn't mean we don't know ourselves. That doesn't mean we are not doing a bit. Understand that your ancestors resisted slavery. They did not embrace slavery. Your ancestors didn't have kingship then. They have elders running the land, and which is how normal people are supposed to be. Every family produces elders that participate in making the laws or rules guarding the land. That's how it's supposed to be. The white men, Arabs, they came, they killed out our good ancestors and installed those they forced. Those people did not choose to become sellouts on their own. They did not choose to serve white man on their own. They begin to put all those kings to rule over people. Kingship is like slavery. It's the same thing. So he keeps saying that, and the way he said that, he don't know he's indirectly praising white man. If you know our people, if you know our true history, there is no way you can praise white man when it comes to black people. The reason why black people are suffering today is because of white man. And when we're talking about white man, we're talking about the Arabs and the Europeans. You say slavery. Our people weren't into slave trade before white man came. I'm telling you, it's not hearsay. Our people weren't into that. They valued life. That's why I shared that post, and I was putting some correction. But that post, without me even putting correction there, it shows you what really happened. The lady that wrote that thing about her great grandfather is right there. How the white men used that man even to promote or to advance Christianity. You're supposed to understand. Now the Kanu said that some people are saying he's promoting white supremacy. Yes, any African that said they are Christians or they are Jews or they are Muslims, they are promoting white supremacy, because those religions were put in place to make you promote white supremacy unknowingly. You believe in Allah, you believe in Jehovah, you believe in Yahweh. Yes, you are promoting white supremacy. You say, I don't know why. Yeah, because they don't know. They think because you are resisting them, which I said in my last video. You're supposed to know at the root of our problem as Africans is religion. Remove religion from our root, remove religion from us. You see how Africans, we begin to reason like their great ancient ancestors, not colonized African ancestors, our ancient, the ancient people that gave the world science. That's the ancient people that had African science before the African spirituality. I'm not talking about those that were practicing African spirituality. That's not even our main thing. Our main thing is African science. The science that study the sun, the moon, everything in the world, and tell you this is what they find out. And today when you go there, you'll find it exactly the same. Every other civilization was built on their own civilization. But you see, our people keep blaming our people, blaming ourselves. No, we all are in this suffering. Slaves easily blame their fellow slaves. They are too scared to blame the slave master. And that's what people are still doing today. And it's unfortunate that Nnamdi Kanu is not yet getting it. I know the pressures around him is one of the things that is driving him in that direction, because he wants to prove his point. No, but trying to prove your point, the people you are trying to prove your point, they don't even care about that. They don't want Biafra, period. They will pay your own brothers to fight against you, which is happening now. You see, some of them, none of them have ever, some of them, I mean, have never made any video against Nigerian government killing our own people. But you see them making video against Nnamdi Kanu. Because some of them are afraid if they reach Nigeria, they may arrest them. So they will shut up. So Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, focus, stay focused on your fight for Biafran freedom. African history, we complicate it more. African history, we complicate because you don't know about, I don't even know it 100%, but little, there are people you should listen to. There are some African Americans, some of them have died and some of them are still alive. Listening to them, use YouTube. They will tell you more about Africa, the origin of Islam, the origin of Christianity, Christianity before Christianity, all that, how everything came from us. What make you? The white man did not teach us anything. We taught them. We taught them to bat. We taught them to speak. We taught them to sing. We taught them everything. We taught them to wear clothes. But you still see some of our people thinking our people were naked. Well, the white men came and begin to dress. No, we taught white man. Nnamdi Kanu, we are not suffering because of the part we play in slavery. We are suffering because we are still slaves till today. We are still slaves to white man. We never have freedom from white man. What we have is independence. You see countries in Africa, about 44 or 54 countries, right? They keep celebrating independence. None of them is celebrating freedom. And for you to know what freedom actually is, or partially is, Look at America, how they liberated themselves from the British government. Can you see them join you in your Commonwealth game? Because they know it is for those who were enslaved by the British government. So when you participate in that game, you are still under their influence. But you see, African countries that were under the British, they're still paying homage to them. Don't you see some African countries that are still paying tax to France? And you are saying you stop blaming white man. Why should I stop blaming him? I will continue blaming him. Have they paid reparation to African Americans? They pay reparations to others, Japanese people, other people, Jewish people, right? How about the African Americans they used to build the America you see today? Is it not the same thing you are reading from what you are quoting from that lady? 1.5 million Igbos taken from Igbo land by force. Why are you blaming your own brothers and sisters or your ancestors? And you are not blaming the one who was waiting to buy those slaves, who sent them to bring those slaves. You telling me you are suffering because of what happened during? So why is white people not suffering more than you? They bought those slaves, right? They used those slaves. They tell you about 10 to 15% of those slaves never even made it to their destination. They died. And they're blessed. They are not talking about ancestral cause. It's only Africans that keep talking about ancestral cause. And you telling me you don't know. It's because of the religion. They use that religion to tell you your ancestors are evil. That's why you say you're a Jew. They tell you your ancestors are evil. That's why you say you're a Christian. They tell you your ancestors were evil. That's why you say you're a Muslim. Your ancestors weren't Christians, Jewish, and Muslims. No. You begin to claim, no, Judaism started Judaism started in what is the name of this place? These people that have airline, Ethiopia. That's bullshit. No. You have to do your own research about our true history before we come in contact with the Arabs and the Europeans. The invaders that came and brought those evil. And also I want to make this known to some of you. You're supposed to know why majority of our people we are following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And some of them are giving up on him now because of the nonsense going on. They accuse him of mismanaging money or other. Then when he turned against Christianity, they accuse him of insulting elders and all that bullshit. Right? Which I already said. If you're against him, why not ignore him and start your own? What are you doing for us to have our Biafra? You say you want Nigeria to split. You want us to have Biafra, but you don't support IPOB. You don't support what they're doing. Then leave them alone and start your own and go. But these two reasons are why a majority of our people are listening to Nnamdi Kanu and following him. I don't follow Nnamdi Kanu. I listen to what he's saying about Biafra. I turn off whenever he talk about religion or African history. Because when it comes to African history, I know better. I don't need anyone to teach me about that. I know my ancestors who already done the research. Like Dr. Ben, Dr. John Clark. Yes, and they have come. White people hated them. Even black people also. African leaders hated them. First is because our people, the people, especially the Igbo people, they are hungry for Biafra. They want to get out of Nigeria. Every Igbo person or somebody from Biafra area, if you know the Biafra area, all those areas, every wise one among them that is hungry for Biafra, hungry for freedom from Nigeria, must support anyone that is talking about Biafra. It must not be only Nnamdi Kanu. Why all of you focusing on Nnamdi Kanu? That's why now he's shifting his focus to other things. Because you keep finding something to blame him. Of course, since he's blaming our ancestors, our people, so people are blaming him too. He insulting people, people insulting him. I have been saying this. If you understand the struggle, if you know the struggle, you will understand what Nnamdi Kanu is doing with his group, fighting for the restoration. Let me ask you, if they ask you now to start about the restoration of Biafra, do you know what to do? Me, personally, I don't know. So that's why I support anyone that is saying, but I will not follow you. You will not tell me to bring my money, I bring it. No, unless I see actually this is what you are doing, and I see our people in our own villages, in our own towns, in Nigeria as we speak. I see our people publicly standing for Biafra. Of course, I will put my money there. But for your group, telling me to bring money to support your group, I'm not doing that. No. There are people who are diehard for that group and they will support. I'm not against them. I will not tell them, no, stop giving. Every group requires money to run. Group is an organization. There's no organization that can function without money. So why diffuse? Why not think and reason with him? So our people are hungry for Biafra. That's why they're listening to him. Second one is religious belief. Our people are let me say they are possessed with that religious belief. Anyone that brings God, they will follow that person. Well, I don't follow such person. You're talking about God bullshit. Tell you talking bullshit. When I was a Christian, of course, I will follow, and I will follow only one that is talking about Jesus. So if it was time I was a Christian, I will not listen to Nnamdi Kanu again simply because he said there is no Jesus. When I went to a native doctor in my village, one of the things he told me, he said he'll support what Nnamdi Kanu is doing, but his mistake is saying Jesus never existed, because that native doctor believed Jesus existed. I said Jesus never existed, but our people believe, including our Igwes, our native doctors, our people, they believe what the white man wrote in the Bible. All of them believe it. And you don't see why we are not making progress. Religion is at the root of it. Nnamdi Kanu said black man is possessed with, yes, they are possessed with Satan called religion. That is what they're possessed with. That's why they will come against you. It's in their book. He said, do not cast what is precious, your precious thing. Do not cast it before the swine and dog. He said, because they will trample upon it and tear you apart. So that's why you're supposed to work with your group. Focus on what you are doing for Biafran restoration. Keep doing it. Don't expect our people. No. I like the way you are building forces, even in our villages. Let them well organized. Let them have brain and begin to penetrate all those political positions. Let them begin to become our local government chairmen, our governors. Yes, that's what we want. Our councilmen. That's how we then you. Oh man, what happened to Igbo sense? Igbo sense is based on science, not spirituality. No, spirituality is distraction. Religion is distraction. Science is what we need. He said we are the architect of our problem. It's not true. The Arabs and the Europeans are the architect of our problem. We made the mistake, our ancestors made the mistake of being too hospitality. That's what cost us our heritage. We were hospitable to all these evil people you call the Arabs and the Europeans in the name of whatever they come with. They come first as merchants, buying our goods, then they turn buying our people. You're telling me that our people were selling their brother. Okay, do you have it in your mind to sell your own brother or your own sister today? Do you? It's not in us. It's like telling me that Africans or black people are racist. No, they are not. They learned that from the strangers. You must tell me who brought slavery to Africa. Use date. You say your people were practicing slavery before white men can give me the date. Show me where your ancestors were chaining themselves down. Show me the cell where they were putting slaves in your own land. Show me. You don't have it. It's white man that teach you that. And show me the army they have. You don't know. We never have army. Because army was designed to invade other people's land and rape their women, take their men into slavery and all that. We didn't have army. White men brought army to us. You're supposed to understand your own people so you can flow better. There are people that will work with you so long Biafra is concerned. Remove African history, not colonized history. Remove religion, Judaism, Islam, Christianity. Put them aside. If you want to have a Biafra that will have any form of religion, that's bullshit. You will end up like these people. You see the Sudan. White men gave you independence, you are never free. You say, what is wrong with our people? Then why are you going to United Nations? Why are you going to white men for the freedom of our people? Our people should fight for their own freedom. African should fight for the freedom of Africa. Not white men. We don't need assistance of white man to free ourselves. Slaves don't need any consent from the slave master to free themselves. Slaves must fight to free themselves. Come on, wake up, my people. You say, who brought slavery? Tell me. You say your people. No. If you want to know what your ancestors were doing before white men came, look at the tribe they call the Igbo tribe in Nigeria today. They are still doing boy or indentured servitude. You serve somebody for some years, then they free you. Not being slave for life. Not serving without pay. Not working without pay. I of course, you know what I do now. I went and googled about white man's slavery. You see, I will add it later here. He said this is a Meccan merchant, right? The Arab man, right? He said, and his Caucasian Caucasian slave entitled Vohamena and that name. He said, distinguished merchant and his Caucasian slave, his white slave. Arabs also enslaved white people. They taught white people slavery. Then white people came also with the Arabs. They followed Arab footsteps. They also enslaved us. Come on, understand here. The next one, he said white slavery. He said white slave trade or white slave trafficking refers to the chattel slavery of Europeans, whether by non-Europeans such as North Africans and the Muslim world, or by other Europeans, for example, naval gallery slaves or the Vikings trails. He says slaves of European origin were present in ancient Rome and the Ottoman Empire. He said on the European continent under feudalism. He said there were various forms of status applying to people such as serf, border, valiant, vagabond, and slave, who were indentured or forced to labor without pay. Our ancestors weren't forcing anyone to labor without pay. No, never. But you keep believing the lies they taught you because you are an educated fool who don't care to do his own research. It is written in that book. That book, you know, I read that book. And that's, you become people of book instead of people of brain. They take your brain and give you book. You're not supposed to depend on any book. I don't need to quote anyone. Use your own self as example as an African. Is it in you to sell your own African brother? Tell me, your own sibling. Is it in you? Even though you are quarreling with them, has it ever occurred to you, I want to sell them into slavery? Have you occurred even, I want to kill them? No. When you're talking about slavery, killing, it is religion that taught you that. Check any African that is engaging in slavery or killing of another African, it must be religious. If you don't believe in Christianity, if you don't belong in Christianity, he belongs in Judaism. If you don't belong in Judaism, he belongs in Islam. He must belong in three of this or spirituality. When you're talking about sacrifice, there is no sacrificing of human being in science, knowledge. Knowledge will tell you this thing, this person is my fellow human being. Can't you think, how can I put knife on the throat of my fellow human being to cut off his neck? What if I'm the one? Read, I post that about colonial. This is what I want you to read. I share it before talking this colonized African history. Yeah, it's on my wall right now. I made the corrections there too. But if you read it, you will find out her great grandfather she's talking about was under the influence of British government. Not as Igbo person, just living as Igbo person. No, he was under the British government influence. He became a businessman working with them. And this is to show you, because I posted, I read before I post. Hear what he said about him under working with the British. How her great grandfather worked with the British. Let me pick some places to read for you to see. He said he presided over cases in native courts. You see, because he got influence, not because he's the elder, the only elder in the land or the wise man in the land. No, he said he presided over the court, right? He said he supplied he supplied laborers for the construction of rail lines. Supplied to who? To the British government. He said he also willingly donated land for missionaries, which I call demons, to build churches and the schools. Those churches and schools is one of the reasons why we are suffering today. Those churches and schools were put there to enslave us mentally. That is the worst form of slavery. Worst form of slavery is religion. Mental slavery. Oh, this is another part I like. The same, still under that working with the British government. He said, my great-grandfather was renowned for his business prowess, of course, outstanding boldness, strong leadership, and you see where he led our people, right? Vast influence, immense contributions to society, and advancement of Christianity, which I added slavery. Christianity is slavery. That's why they use him. Anyone under the influence of British become king, become renowned, become chief, become all that. It wasn't so among us before they came. They brought evil in our land. And the evil tree can never bear good fruit. Never. You're talking about tearing statues and you're supporting Donald Trump. You see him protecting those statues in America. He said, no, it's our history. Of course, slavery is American history. Without slavery, there will be no America today. America was created as the New World Order. For those of you that are against one world order, America was created as a new world order, and they enslaved your ancestors to build it. Your African ancestors built the United States of America you see today. and they haven't paid our people for that. The descendants of those slaves are still in America today. They are yet to pay them that reparation. And when you talk about reparation, they say, no, we weren't there. But you are still benefiting from that. You still benefit. Why people are still rich? Because of slavery. No, not because they are smarter. No, they are not smarter than us. Who gave you internet you are using today? Is he not black man? And that black man happened to come from Igbo tribe. My own tribe. Yeah, I say my own tribe. But if he's a kidnapper now, will I say my own tribe? We always claim people that do something the society says is good. But if people do what society condemns, we don't mention them. I would have said a black man did that. But now I say my tribe man because of internet. But who is taking glory for internet? White man. Many black people in Africa today think that white man gave us internet. Because that's all they know. Oyibo Barbara. White man is spirit. Then your ancestors is demon. White man is God. And we stay bowing to them. Look at the rich white people and tell me I shouldn't blame them. Why they are still enriching themselves by their involvement in slavery. Look at British government. Who built them? They don't mind gold, but they have all the gold. They took it from Africa. You see them going to Ghana, going to Africa where they take stuff. Look at the American government. Look at them. Look at the Vatican. Who built Vatican? You don't even know where Vatican was copied. It was copied from the first Christian church built by your own African ancestors. In the present day, you call Turkey. You don't know Turkey is also part of African continent. They stole them. Look at the rich white people in business. What is still making them rich? What they are taking from Africa. You say you call your own brothers and sisters 419. They are duping white people. That's good. That's good business. They stole those things from us. Let us take them back by all means. We must do that. Tell me, can white people even today as we speak live their life without black people, without Africans? Tell me, what are they still doing in Africa? Don't you know that they are the one that is still controlling the African continent? Africans are not free yet. And you saying stop blaming white man. We are not blaming white man. We are calling it as it is. They are the invaders. They are the one that came to us. They invaded us. We are living our life. We did not invent them. They are the one that came and taught us invasion, taught us slavery, taught us slave trade, taught us all those evil, taught us homosexuality, taught us killing our own brothers and sisters. Come on, think. Are they still not coming to Africa? Tell me. They make business, they still doing business. You say China is buying up Africa. And you have educated people in Africa. You have engineers. You have all those people, scientists in Africa. What are they doing? I want power. I want to become president. I want to become governor. Yeah, I used to be a taxi driver. Now I'm a governor. That is the good handwork of God. Praise the Lord. You still see African leaders defending Quran, defending Bible, defending Torah. And you telling me you don't know the problem and who to blame? Who gave them those Abrahamic religions? Don't you see what Trump just did in America? Where people are rallying in support of black lives. He called the army and said, clear the street for me. He went to a church and raised a Bible up. They know. That is what they use to control us. Remember, this book, the content of this book showed you who is who. White supremacy. Black people are slaves. Anywhere you read about slaves in that book is talking about your African ancestors. And they don't want that spell to be broken. But we must destroy it. We are waking up. Tell me what white people are still doing in Africa. Can you see any white man in my own category living in Africa today? No way. They rather go in prison in America than go to live in Africa. Because they will live better in the prison in America than living in Africa. Africa is the real hellfire. Who made Africa hellfire? White man. And you're telling me, don't blame them. What are you talking? Any African that blame Africans is still stupid. You don't understand what Africans are going through. You don't have African leaders. Those people you call African leaders, they are stooges. How did they kill Mama Gaddafi? AK-47, not with any bomb. The African leader, they are the easiest one for them to kill. Nnamdi, you said that Boko Haram is against Western education. Of course, that's what they're against. Because it's a war between Christianity and Islam. The Arabs and the Europeans, they are still fighting that war among them. Just as the Roman Catholic Church and the Anglican Church is still fighting in our villages till date. Do you get that? That is part of the whole thing. I made that post. I said, oh, you are against polygyny or polygamy, but you don't want to support prostitution and the homosexuality. Somebody said, what point are you making? I just removed his comment. Because if you accept one man, one wife for all, then you must accept prostitution and the homosexuality. Because when our ancestors were doing their own polygamy, there was no homosexuality, there was no prostitution. You don't need them. You're telling me I cannot have sex with a woman until I get married? You are stupid. No, I talked to a woman, she agreed we have sex. That's it. It's natural. We are born with it naturally. So why do you have any ceremony or any ritual to use it? What ritual do you perform for you to urinate? It's the same thing. Having sex. You're telling me don't blame white man. Stop blaming them. Blame your own people. We are selling this. That's colonized African history. Anyone that tell you that Africans were enslaving their own brothers, they're talking about enslaved African history. They are talking from white man's talking point. Just like in America, when you talk about Black Lives Matter, they tell you how about black on black crime. Black people are killing themselves, but they won't tell you who made the gun they are using. Who gave them the drug that made them clean themselves? Do you think black people go in the street shooting another black people? No, they were into drug business. Where is my stuff? You say you don't have it. I give you 5 days. If you don't bring it, you see. They come, you don't bring it. Next thing they kill you. They will tell you, you keep talking about the leaves of the tree, about the fruit of the tree. You don't talk about the roots. You say stop blaming the root. If the root is evil, the fruit will be evil also until we destroy the white supremacy. That is what is at our root. That's why they put that democracy and the religion there. And you think you are going forward. No, you are going deeper. You are not going anywhere, black people, until you destroy white supremacy. What are you trying? Oh, I will ask you that question, but listen. Is African continent free from white man? No. That continent is still, you still have Middle East. That means you are not free yet. The day Africa will be free, African continent will be free, they will recover all their land. That's what is called true freedom. It's like you say you gave white people freedom in America. No. How can you give them freedom when you have the land? They're just there. They are still working like slaves, working and make money. They don't have land. They don't own land. You are the one that own the land. African continent is not free from white man. White man invaded Africa. White man fought against Africa. White man conquered Africans. White man converted Africans. And those converts of the white men are the one who were designed, who were ordained, who were programmed, who were used to catch slaves for white man. And you are blaming your own brothers that we are forced. Is it not the same nonsense white man taught us that they used to arrest this Nnamdi Kanu and prison him in, put him in jail in Nigeria. What part of government, what type of government is Nigeria government using today? Is it not the same thing white man gave us? White man tell us freedom of speech. Oh, if you say this, it's hate speech. We say yes. One time I was thinking, who tell black people that marijuana is illegal? White people. Now white people want to legalize it. Black people will join again. Black people are lost people so long this world is concerned today. Until black people rise up, free themselves, destroy everything religion, everything that white man brought into our land, we must destroy them. If not, we will keep suffering and smiling, suffering and denying, fighting ourselves. It is called self-hate. Black people have self-hate because white people invaded them and infected them with that poisonous nonsense. When you see those that tell you we are selling their products, no, they were converts. They become Christians, they become Muslims, they become Jews before they begin to do that, serving the white man, working with the white man against their own people. White people started it with themselves. Don't you know that white people were eating themselves also? But you will tell me your ancestors were eating themselves. Understand the origin of it, the root of it, of the matter. Those people you call slave traders among your people were converts. And the missionaries also trained them. And they begin to call themselves men of God. Men of God. You see the condition of people in Nigeria. You see some men of God still collecting tithes and offering, building mosques and churches in a place where people are suffering and dying daily. You see graduates roaming the street, carrying gun, robbing people, making money. So why wouldn't they focus on money? Because you have told them that's only if you have it, that's what will give you any leverage in the society. I want to make money. A child in the womb want to make money in Africa. Because without money, even your own parents will not regard you. They will trash you. I like that. So people will join the enemy to gain stuff. Yeah. People will join the enemy to gain stuff. Allah de Homa bu uru undinze. It shouldn't be so. That's why you have all those corrupt politicians. They are serving white man. How can you have universities in Africa? They are not making their own weapon. They are not making their own thing. They are not making their own cars. How? Tell me. You are African a president from Africa going to Europe, going to India for medical treatment. And you are telling me you have doctors. Shame on you that don't know your own history. And you are fighting against your own people based on what you read on a book written by your own oppressors. You have to trust those books. Look at them politicians, all those governments, they are serving white supremacy. All those missionaries, all those men of God, imams, all of them serving white supremacy. Giving you white God, white Jesus, white heaven, and all that bullshit. But hellfire is black. Oh, man. Know your true African history. There is joy in knowing it. Until you know your true African history, you will still be embracing African spirituality, African religion, and all that. Yes, you see some African Americans that know true African history talking about spirituality because they are living in America already. But they will tell you it was science before people. They tell you the first person that created the idea of God. It is in Africa, not white man. Before they came, did the white man sell their own people as slaves? Yes. That's why they have that mind to come to our land. to force our people to bring their own people. Oh, you guys don't have water. I will give you water. Catch me some people from among your people. Remember, they did not started by telling them, oh, catch them and sell them. No, they lied to them. Oh, there's a land, a promised land, a better place. I will take these people. Let them go and see our land, or let them come and work for us. We will pay them. They say, okay, it's labor. Let us go. You don't know your ancestors built Spain. Your ancestors built America. Your ancestors built all these great places in the world today. It was not white man that built them. We don't know. Yes, do your own research. The Arabs and the Europeans brought slavery to Africa. Why don't you have nuclear weapons in Africa? That should teach you a lesson. Why is it white people have nuclear weapons? You don't have it. You are telling me don't blame white people, right? And some of you will say, no, they will not allow you to have it. They will not. Why not? Are we not human beings like them? So why can they make weapons and we cannot? Why are we buying weapons from white people? We cannot. And sometimes they sell you garbage as weapon and you pay for it. Still enriching them. Why are we giving them our natural resources? They're using it to better themselves the more. And they're giving us money. We don't need money. We have what is greater than money. Let us use our own thing. But we cannot use our own thing until we free ourselves. Slaves don't use their own thing. Slaves are used to use their own things to benefit their slave master. Why don't you have nuclear weapons in Africa today? Tell me. You that say don't blame white people, white man. Tell me why white man have nuclear weapon. You don't. Tell me. Because they say they are wiser than you. They are smarter than you. And you are praising them. Hey, they are smart. They are not. You say, see how white people solve their problem. Who told you? If you see how white people solve their problem, you will know they don't solve their problem. War never solve any problem. Which problem? White people don't solve problem. People that know how to solve problem are black people. Black people want to end this problem that it will never resurface again. They end it permanently. The white people we paint it. Because they paint it now, it's another color. You say it is solved. They replace it with something. Just as they said they abolished slavery. Did they abolish slavery? No. Do they free black people from slavery in America? No. They make it worse. And those of you don't know, you think, yeah. Come on. You don't need to have any degree. You don't need to be educated to understand what is happening in the world. That's why I say consider your ways. And is it not Africans that believe we are the world? We are one. All of us are one human race. White people don't see you like that. And they show you that. That's why they introduce passport. When they came to your own land, did they come with passport? Did they come with passport? Tell me. Did they come with visa? Tell me. Who created? They created all those things. But they tell you Africans were living as one family. You can get up and say, I'm going, okay, I no longer want to live here with my people. Let me go over there. You cross the river or something. Make sure you cross. Just cross over there. You can build whatever. That's it. And nobody coming to fight you. They were living as one family until these demons came as merchants, as invaders, as missionaries. And look at us today. And you tell me, stop blaming white man. Why not? If I don't blame white man, black people will not know what happened to them. They will think white man did good. There's no single good thing white man did for us. Whether you say a school, the school they brought is for our own brainwashing. The education we are having in Africa, even till today, is brainwashing, is for indoctrination. It's not for our learning. It's not for us to know about what they're telling you. Mongo Park, discover River Niger. You see that nonsense in your own land. The river you used to bathe, do everything, fish in it. They tell you what man discover it, and you ask your own children. They wrote it in the exam to pass. It is time you wake up Africans and know that Africans are still slaves to white man. Stop painting it. We are still slaves, including myself. That's why I'm in America. I was not born in America. And even where I was born in Igbo land was not our original location. They drove us away from the place they took over and they call it Middle East. That's where we come from. You keep claiming, we are from Israel. Which Israel? Israel was a fictional state. Everything about Israel is fallacy. Everything. That's why they decided to create it in 1948. The Israel you see today in the real world is like Disney World in America. They made up all those things. They never existed in reality until they made it. Nnamdi Kanu, please focus on. I love the way you talk about Biafra and Nigeria. The way you try to show our people Biafra is more than Igbo people. Biafra is more than 5 states in Nigeria today. I love that way. How you expose how Nigeria government has been dealing ill with our people, even with the job people that are supporting you. When you stop that, that's what I want to hear more about, the truth about us, not the colonized history of our ancestors. No. We knew that Nigeria was formed in 1914. Before then, who were we? For example, my focus is waking Africans up by all means. And you know, I will never deviate from it. Whether I'm talking about Africa, whether I'm talking about religion, whether I'm talking about politics, all my main thing is to wake Africans up. Period. Not just Biafra, not just Nigeria, not just one part. No, the whole Africa have to wake up, because Africa is one family. We are one family, and we must see ourselves as we are and live as a people again, whether the slave master likes it or not, whether those who are supporting the slave master likes it or not. The truth shall prevail, and if truth is on our side, we shouldn't be apologetic about it. We shouldn't be trying to paint it out to make people no. We're supposed to be raw about it. We're supposed to be aggressive about it. I like what somebody says. The supreme act of war is to subdue enemy without fighting, just as China is doing. Let us learn from China. Let us learn from Japan. Yes, there are people that suffered at least a little bit what we suffered, but look at them today. They are doing their own thing. Although they have their religion, they have their culture, but they embrace science. Without science, you can never join the world powers. Think or think. Wake up, Africans. The sun. We are the sun, and we shall shine again. Peace. Again. Again. Yeah, my name you. You make it.